Dear Democratic National Committee and mainstream media, you're doing it again. That thing you do. That thing you're always known for doing that makes us despise you so much. You know, the time-honored tradition of shooting yourselves in the dick by not allowing a fair election and pushing your establishment favorites on us so you can turn this 2020 election from giving President Annoying Orange the electoral ass-whooping he deserves to yet another nail-biter. I thought maybe you learned your lesson in 2016. Oh man, 2016 was peak Democratic establishment smug. You kicked old Bernie Sanders to the curb and did whatever you could to get him out, such as count superdelegates before they even voted, to leaving him out of the ballot in state primaries, and made him swallow his pride to support your queen, Hillary Clinton, in a battle against Donald Trump, who only won after the GOP primary turned into a real-life rendition of the Minions movie. You were winning in the popular vote the entire time on the campaign trail. You pushed a narrative that Hillary won every debate and was right on just about every issue, and what did the people do? They rejected it. Now yes, Hillary Clinton did win the popular vote, but it shouldn't have even been that close. We're talking about Donald Trump, a guy that has more skeletons in his closet than the Crypt Keeper and has the presidential decorum of Bam Bam from the Flintstones. She should have flogged him Reagan 1984 style if she kept her nose clean, didn't have a centerpiece in identity politics, and rallied in the states she needed to rally in, you know, like Wisconsin and Michigan. If she didn't just do the symbolic equivalent of learn to code at the coal miners in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, she would have killed it in those states the way that, Bernie Sanders did. Back in 2016, Bernie Sanders was kicking Donald Trump's ass by double digits. All the signs were there to just go with Bernie and send Donald Trump out on his ass. I mean, no matter how many times Trump tweeted crazy Bernie, he wasn't getting anywhere with that shit. Let's face it, you guys gifted Donald Trump the election. I know what you're gonna say. It was racism, it was sexism. No one wanted a woman to be president. Yeah, we did. The Democrats were literally begging Elizabeth Warren to run, but she got cold feet. It wasn't racism, it wasn't sexism, it was just pure, unadulterated incompetence. You took the then blue Rust Belt states and the working poor for granted. Fast forward to 2020, and we think you guys finally learned your lesson. You are finally going to let things play fairly and let the best man or woman win. Nope. Instead, you double down on your propaganda and decide to drag out yet another establishment winner, Old Glass Joe. Just look at this specimen. Sure, quite a prime candidate back in his day, but now that he's starting to push 80, the man can barely complete a sentence properly. He forgets events and names. He recently called Angela Merkel Margaret Thatcher and spent almost a minute trying to figure out a number larger than a billion. Or was it a trillion? I'm not sure. Half of the party is afraid he'll die on the campaign trail. And this is the guy you want to face Trump? Yeah, he's killing it in the polls now, but that will change when they see he is truly unfit to be president. His only saving grace would be a strong vice presidential running mate who's a good progressive counterpart. But while you're trying to polish up this silver turd, what about the real quality candidates? Oh right, you're doing what you always do. Treat them like they're second class. Give Bernie Sanders mostly negative media coverage and make him look like a crazy old goofball. Kick Tulsi Gabbard out of the debates even though she's gotten over 2% in over 20 polls, but only 2 of them are those she apparently qualified in because, reasons. Oh, what's this? She got a 3rd poll from ABC? Nope, sorry. We're gonna use the all voters column instead of the registered voters, even though we use registered voters from every other qualified poll because who cares about playing fair, am I right? And don't even get me started on Andrew Yang, the biggest victim from this cavalcade of stupidity. The treatment the mainstream media has given him borders on criminal. Everything from cutting his microphone off during the MSNBC debates, to leaving his name tag out of videos, to leaving him out of websites altogether, to not even remembering his fucking name. Now, I'm not saying Bernie, Andrew Yang, or Tulsi Gabbard would win in a fair election, but they certainly deserve a fair shake and a chance for the public to know what they're about. Andrew Yang especially has been going up in the polls in spite of the media blackout injustice that he has been suffering from. Imagine what this guy could do if you actually covered him properly. But nope, let's just drag old Glass Joe out there because Obama! Remember Obama? He was there! He was his vice president. You gotta vote for him because Obama! 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 We'll drag him out on a fucking forklift to the debates if we gotta because we gotta keep the status quo, am I right, boys? Now I know I'm a political moderate, but I'm not dumb. The Overton window has moved so far to the right at this point, we are hitting the second Gilded Age. Changes are desperately needed, now. and we have candidates in the election that people have high hopes and great ratings for that can provide us that fundamental change Biden promises won't happen. The problem? You. You're obstructing us, leaving an unstoppable wall in the way of candidates you don't like because they might rock the boat if they become president. I mean, that's the fucking point, isn't it? 2/3 of the country is living paycheck to paycheck or worse, and almost everyone is one medical act of God away from losing everything. Maybe if you got out of your ivory towers, you would have realized that. Donald Trump did. I mean, he did like jack shit about it, and he seemed to only care about the suffering of, white people. But he did, and that's why he was able to beat Hillary. And he can do it again if you follow the same playbook that she used in 2016. But what am I saying? Nothing's gonna change. You're gonna continue to pick the establishment candidate you like, or create one as you're trying to do with Warren, and ensure that nothing fundamentally changes. Meanwhile, the Republicans will create change for the better, for the 1% by tax cutting everything to death until we have zero corporate taxes, and the entire tax burden rests on the workers. Great job, Democrats. You truly deserve the donkey as your symbol. I'd call you the Cincinnati Bengals of the political world, but even Ohio knows when to elect a winner. Signed, one pissed off political moderate sick of your shit.